Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblumen. You're watching the TheoTrade nightly video for the 5th of November here in 2020. This is the election night. Really, it was a little bit later than it was in 2020. This is back to 2016, so right here is the election, because that is a Friday, the 4th of November. That's on Monday, the 7th. This is the election day, and this is the day after the election day. Makes that a Wednesday. The next day, if we scroll, this is, by the way, the S&P 500. Little up days, nothing to write home about, but still, nonetheless, bullish. And we had the Friday into the next week, which was bullish throughout the month of November. So how did the rest of the month play out? This is the start of December, all the way up until mid-December, and this tends to be a little bullish time of the year anyway, with the holidays coming up, the Thanksgiving, and retail, Black Friday, all those things. So that's playing into where we were then, back in the late 2016. Actually, it'll take us back further in the aftermath of the last election. So that played into the next year. Where are we now? The election took place on a Tuesday. The winner, as of this video, not officially called, but Wednesday was an up day, and now Thursday is also an up day. So we are looking and on pace for the market, as strange and as weird as this may seem, to make new all-time highs. And that's not that far away from the 3600 print. If we're watching the Nasdaq, that new high, strange as it may be, is really within sight. 12.5 on the Dow Mini Futures. It's a little bit beneath that. Not quite recently. The most recent high was before the pandemic hit, and that's back into February. The weakest, if we call it the weakest, is the Russell, which its prior high, all-time high, is back here in 2018. And it's still uptrending into these pivot spots. And this is one of those things that when you see it, you really find it hard to believe, but it's what the mathematics and statistics told us. And that's what Thursday or Tuesday night's video, what I referred to. Just looking at option statistics, implied volatility, and for the S&P futures, the weekly expected move. So I know this is one of those moments that just scratch our heads, but the math was clear of the probabilities. So I made the comment, based on the expected move, we could see the S&P 500, S&P futures that is, into this 3,500 level or down to 30 and 50. And the election, of course, was Tuesday night. Catalyst, this is going to be, has been, looking back now, a volatile week because we had the election. We had the Fed day today. Not a whole lot was accomplished in the Fed day, but nevertheless, it is in the rearview mirror as of Thursday night. And tomorrow morning, we have the jobs report. So that boosted the implied volatility and the risk in the market. There was an equal chance of it busting straight up to 3,500. That's your weekly expected move, the Theo auto-generated indicator right here, or down to 30.50. So these moments where it goes and tags or touches these weekly expected moves, it's just amazing, the power of mathematics. But that's how we frame out the risk, frame out hedges, and the market's gone above that. And the weekly expected move for the other indices was a little bit smaller, but nonetheless, those broke on Wednesday. So good reference, but always keep that in mind with whatever you're trading, whatever instrument that you have, and how you're framing out your trades, swing trades, or hedging a portfolio for a big risk event. The election was a big risk event, and it played out similarly to 2016, which was a bullish, very, very large rally. And that's what we had in 2020. Now, the Nasdaq, S&P, all the quad indexes here, our equity futures, were up over 2%. The Russell, small cap name, was up 3%. In our sectors, these are financials, technology. The big winner of today was materials. And the, say loser, but the weakest, the three weakest, they are the defensive names. They're staples, healthcare, and utilities. So this is a bullish type of maneuver. This is a bullish type of tape. This is a bullish type of sector performance. And all things being equal, a bullish type of year. So as we push forward through the remainder of November, the election is behind us. Fed day for November, and the monthly jobs report comes out tomorrow morning. So that's a lot. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. If we look at strong stocks getting stronger, we have our traditional list and the logic behind this scan. A couple of things we do with this. If the market is uptrending and the market is getting stronger, and the market isn't a bull market, it's a charged term, I get it, but it is an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. So we do want to look for strong stocks getting stronger. Now I have this list over here, and that's just sorted by market cap. So which stocks in the S&P 500 are making new 52-week highs? What does it mean? It means strong stocks get stronger, and they're likely to continue making new 52-week highs. So you're looking at the strongest of the strongest of the pack in the market. And these are showing relative strength leadership. And with these big names, market cap, particularly Google, I remember I mentioned Google was making new 52-week highs. It has extended them. United Healthcare, Thermo Fisher, I like to joke and call it thermonuclear war, but it's Thermo Fisher Scientific, TMO. High price stock with illiquid options, or at least widespread options, so that might not be a great trading candidate, but it continues to make the list, as is Costco, Qualcomm, Texas Instruments, Honeywell, some of the BlackRock, little financial names, Anthem Blue Cross, or Anthem Incorporated, John Deere, CSX, and the list goes on. But these are the market cap names that are strong, getting stronger. I do want to highlight a few of them. So what I'll do with this part of the video is just take this list and go down about the first 5. So that's going to be Google. I refuse to call it Alphabet. It is Google. And it continues the uptrend. And there's the higher highs, higher lows. And again, this push above 1700 has generated a straight up shot, or straight shot to the upside. And that's happening in a high volume, which continues or suggests that Google probably keeps getting stronger. We don't just wind up and go long the high, right? That's not a good strategy. The strategy is to wait for a pullback. We would call that a retracement or some type of play. So if you are not in a position right now, you would look for the pullback or retracement down to lower levels. If you are an aggressive trader, this is a stock or a spot to short for a pullback. That is a riskier strategy, but certainly a lot of traders do take advantage of what we call fades or pullback trades. And that is to short an indefinite, call it indefinite because we don't know that's the top. This could have been the top here, but it wasn't. That makes it a dangerous strategy, but it does have edge to capture a pullback. So as we talk about these names, the immediate trade is most likely a pullback, fade trade. But if you're like me, you might want to keep these stocks in a watch list separately and buy call spreads or vertical spreads on a pullback. And you can see how that plays out in the past. United Healthcare, not the strongest trend, but it is getting stronger. TMO, Thermo Fisher, there's Thermo Fisher is right here. Right, that's a stock you wish you bought, but it's just continuously getting stronger. There's not a setup right now except to short or to fade it, and that's, to me at least, very risky. You are trying to play a quick little fade back to earth or back to a magnet, like a snap with a rubber band, but it's a put spread, but then again, that's a little more aggressive. It's better to put these names on a watch list and get those pullbacks. Abbott Laboratories. We have Danaher. Just go into the market cap list. And the logic is that which is strong now tends to get stronger. 2 more. Costco. This is what we're looking for. Pullback, retracement, flag. I know. When the market's down here, it seems like it's going to keep going down. But that's all the trade is. It's probability. And so for Costco, the most recent trade was a pullback. And now it is on the list of stocks making higher highs. And that's how we use these candidates for future pullbacks. Qualcomm and Texas Instruments. Little flag plays all the same. As always, be careful, be safe. We have the jobs report, but little volatility plays are behind us. Election, big one. That's the biggest one. Jobs report coming up. Fed day, not much of a factor. And I think that's the way it may be with the Fed, talking about stimulus or the economy and their forward guidance, but not much at all when it comes to rate changes. Be careful, be safe. This is Corey Rosenblum with tonight's Theo video update for November 5th, 2020.